वरना वो रह जाएगा. A very good afternoon, a very good morning, good evening, world. Namaskar from India. Speak up and empower the world of stories. And today I am here right in front of you, Himangi Arora Mishra, President Speak Up and Empower India, with my dear friend Adhin. And we both were waiting for our dear Shefali ma'am, but she is, just trying to finish off with certain important tasks, and she'll be joining us soon. And she is going to bring the element of love, affection, and all the wisdom to the story that we are looking forward to. Have you ever been in a situation where the perspective of yours created all the difference? Or maybe the perspective that has actually changed the way you look at a certain situation. We as human beings have always been the learners, and learners always have a very clear vision and perspective towards a certain situation. There was definitely a very prominent learner in good great times, and he also had a perspective. So now we have to see and check with Adi and Shifali ma'am what was the perspective. Welcome, Shifali ma'am. Happy Sunday. Good evening.
Good
Namaskar
evening.
from me, Himangi
Namaskar.
Arora Mishra, Adhin, and the entire world whom we are looking forward to. So, is
Absolutely.
there
Good evening to
excitement?
Himangi and Adhyan and to the rest of the world.
Amazing, amazing, beautiful. So, today, our little, dear, adorable, amazing, as Shafali ma'am says, A square, Adhyan, amazing Adhyan, is going to tell us, narrate us a wonderful, beautiful story about a learner, a perspective of a learner, and the leader in him who's going to be the conqueror of the world. So let's see what Adhyan has in the folds. Go ahead, Adhyan.
Yeah, hello everybody, namaste. So, welcome to yet another interesting story from the epic Mahabharata. As I mentioned in the previous session, Mahabharata is a tale of human emotions, and today's story explores human perception or point of view. So, let's begin. Mahabharata is a tale of two dynasties, Kauravas and the Pandavas, who were cousins. All of them spent their childhood together and learned warcraft from their guru, Dronacharya. One day, Guru Drona decided to test the cousins in the game of archery. He placed a statue of a bird on a tree branch and summoned the eldest Kaurav Duryodhana and his Pandav brothers Arjun and Yudhishthira for the challenge. He asked each of them to sight the aim on the tree. First, Yudhishthir went forward and looked at the bird statue at length. He then looked around the tree. Drona asked Yudhishthir, "Can you spot the aim, my dear? Tell me." Yudhishthir calmly replied, "Yes, Gurudev, I can see the bird on the tree, but I am afraid I can't shoot it." This surprised Drona, and he asked him, "Why do you say so, dear?" Yudhishthir replied, "Gurudev, if I shoot the bird on the tree, it might fall down on the ant hill below and kill the ants. Therefore, I apologize, but I won't shoot the aim." Drona smiled and said, "Dear, you are worried about everything else but your aim." Yudhishthir went back without shooting the aim. Then came Duryodhan, the eldest Kaurav. Drona asked him the same question. "Dear, can you spot the aim?" Duryodhana casually looked at the bird statue on the tree and then impatiently replied, "Yes, yes, there is a bird placed on the tree. I can shoot it anywhere. Tell me, where should I shoot?" Duryodhan's act did not amuse Drona. and he sent Duryodhan back. After Duryodhana's return, Arjun, the young Pandav, came forward. Drona asked him the same question. Arjun patiently looked at the tree and sighted the bird statue. He took out his bow and arrow and started measuring the distance and direction. He then calmly replied, Gurudev, I can see the bird on the tree. In fact, I can aim the bird's eye. He then shot the bird's eye and the statue fell at a distance from the tree. Drona praised Arjun and declared him as the winner of the challenge. And that's the end of the story. So, this story tells about human perception. Each of the three students of Drona perceived the challenge in their own way. While none of them was wrong, but their individual approach towards the challenge reflects their thought process and personality traits. Thank you.
I'm always amused when I hear Adhyan speaking. I love the way you narrated the story, Adhyan. It was beautiful. It really was. What do you say, Himangi?
Indeed, it is. It is the beautiful form of giving so much of wisdom within the span of just 5 minutes. So
Absolutely.
it is by our dear Adhin. But yesterday itself, I came across a very important learning within the statements or the session that I was taking, in which I said that it is never by us, it is always through us. So, whatever happened was, had to happen. And as our dear Adhyan became the storyteller with all the wisdom that he has to share and keep learning to transform the lives of the other, as Shifali Ma'am always say, that one story transforms millions of lives. Shifali Ma'am, I would like to have the insight of yours on this beautiful story narrated by our dear storyteller.
For me, Mangi and Adyan, this story is so beautiful. It really reminds me of pure focus, dedication, and not to look anywhere else. Today we are far more distracted than we ever were. But the story reminds us to be focused, because when you're focused, you finish the task and then you go to the next one. When you're not focused, the results are not that good. And if you really ask me, the time taken is much more. We don't even realize it. We are bombarded with thousands of things at the same time. It's a little WhatsApp thing, it's a little thing on Facebook, it's Instagram, it's the, what do you call it, Twitter. We get distracted. But when we are focused for any kinds of work, we finish our work and we move on to the next one. We need to set our patterns. We need to set up periphery. It's very important, because there are going to be million things. There are going to be so many friends coming up and saying, hey, let's go there and let's do this and let's do that. But you need to know that, no, this is my time. And this is what I have to do to accomplish our tasks. That's important. What do you say, Himangi?
Beautiful. This is actually, when the God wants to plug in something, I believe, because this is the time when maximum of the students are looking forward to the same issue. They're facing the same problem. They're facing the same situation, because the board examinations are around the corner and they are stuck in the middle of the uncertainties. And of course, with that, a lot of students have their examinations which they actually have to appear for. But they come across distractions. they come across temptations, they come across the situations where they are tempted by simple, as you said, ting. So whether it can be of a WhatsApp message, or an invitation for a video game, or an invitation for a party, or maybe a virtual meeting, or just a simple ting message that you can avail 1 plus 1 offer on pizzas every Wednesday, every Friday, or some way or the other from Zomato. So, whosoever is facing the problem actually comes across the same situation. And yes, being an educator, of course, a mentor, I can genuinely relate and I resonate to the fact that children face a lot many problems not because of the distractions, because of the lack of focus which they have to put in a certain direction. In
True.
this, I will add on an example with the convex lens. I'm sure a lot many children can relate to it. Convex lens are known as to be the converging lens, and that lens is used to converge all the power, all the heat of the sun when we actually want to check how the the converging power of the lens works. And suddenly we realize that just putting the lens over the paper starts burning in this under the sunlight, otherwise nothing burns you know so that is the power of focus, that is the power of a brilliant focus in a concentrated or a disciplined mind. And yes, rightly said by you, ma'am, that it saves a lot of time and energy. So I totally agree with you. But I want to know the other sides and the parts of the story where how a learner should learn the perspective of this very part of life.
Another thing that I would like to mention, Himangi, is the uniqueness of everybody. We're all unique, you know. We all are different. I am different, you are different, and so is Adyan. Something that Adyan is good at, I'm not. And what I'm good at, you are not. And similarly, it's the same pattern. We don't even realize, unfortunately, by the parameters of the world or the society, we are always judged. Oh, this is the way you're supposed to do, and this is the way it is to be. How would you know? How would you know? I mean, something that is so beautiful for me may not be beautiful for you, Himangi.
Right.
And what is beautiful for Adhyan may not be beautiful for me. So I think we should all celebrate each other's uniqueness because we are actually different. That is the beauty of celebrating everybody. When we hold hands and we walk together, it is collective. That is what I strongly feel. Somebody can be good with something and the other person can be good with something else. What's the big deal? It doesn't make you a good or a better person, does it? Or somebody a worst or a low graded person? Not at all. It is all in our mind. The minute we decide, hey, let's celebrate the uniqueness of everybody, it becomes beautiful.
Very
And
true.
I would like to add on to a little concept called Ubuntu, which is a very African concept, though. I think it's like I am because you are, you know. The beauty of the pattern is let's celebrate each other. Why should we only focus on something which is only for one person? Arjun was a great archer and he knew what he wanted, but maybe somebody else was something else, isn't it?
Very true. And in that case, and in that instance, I would like to add one more thing, that if if a learner identifies his skills, his his own
Talent.
paths of interests, then it becomes easier for a child or a learner to focus on that very area.
Absolutely.
It's very important to keep polishing your skills and keep managing your weaknesses. so that you can actually bring the best out of you with whatever you have as a trait or a blessing or a gift. So
True.
this is something which I definitely learned and understood. But in that case, what should a learner do to identify those skills? How a learner can identify the fact that he or she is good at something? Maybe he is good at something, but due to the the pressures or the opinions about him or her, he or she starts believing in those and just forget, and in the very later years the child or a person or a learner realizes that, oh, I was very good at it earlier, I could have done something better. So at that time, what do you suggest to our learners?
Himangi, whether it's today or whether it's tomorrow, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it is time for everybody. It's like everybody has its own time to realize what they really want to do. Derai drustai. You've heard of this, right? So I think what is beautiful is when you realize this is what you want, you must work upon it. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Time is a figment of our imagination. I decide whether, 40 or 50 is very old. Who decides that? Is the society. There are a couple of societies which decide, 70 and 80 is also early. So what would you say is right? There's nothing right or wrong in parameters. It is our thought that we need to change. Okay, fine. We need to dabble in different things that we want to do. At the same time, if we're not able to conceive what we want to do today, maybe it is after a couple of years that we want to do the same thing. Do it. It's okay. There is nothing like time. It is all in our mind.
I
Today,
totally agree to this. I totally agree to this, Shifali ma'am. But my concern is, there is a set, systematic way
pattern.
to put certain things so that the journey can be smooth. For example, like if I start learning things early, I will gain wisdom out of it. Maybe I will come across the same situations. The If I have to reach to the pinnacle of the mountain, I have to go through the certain path of ups and downs. But the later I am starting that journey, the difficult it would be, because the factors opposing my strength will might be harder. So that the question is in regard with the students in general. We should not be disappointed by the fact that, or maybe we should, I can say that we should not be rushing behind the things. But yes, as students, if I talk about in specific, what is your suggestion to them? How can they understand their inner strengths, because that will lead them to identify the skills in their later lives? And
I,
what do you suggest in that case?
Himangi, I realize we are at a certain age when we are a little confused, which is okay, which is normal, which is human. Um, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say what they have in mind. A lot of times we are scared to put up our suggestions. That's another thing. We think, oh my God, this is what I have to say. I don't even understand how will people look at it. Sometimes we have to let go of this ideology. What are people going to think about us? It's a very, very important thing, especially in our society. We have to let it go. The minute we let go of this feeling, what are the people going to think about us? You will realize that you will have things sorted for you. And in case you don't have, listen to me, everybody, carefully. It is not necessary for you to know what you want, but at least you should make a list of what you don't want. That makes life easier. That's how you can
Beautiful.
begin. It's step by step towards eventually it'll unfold into a beautiful thing of what you want. But that's the way you can start every day, every step, every one step that you take towards that.
Very beautiful explanation, ma'am. Thank you so much for this wonderful insight. Yes, at least we should know what we don't want.
Yeah,
And we should also know what goes into it. Trust me,
absolutely.
if we genuinely understand the fact, the kind of hard work or smart work required to gain the certain output, we can definitely do or achieve what we want. So this is something I think even Arjun understood at a very early age, that he knew that he don't want to be somebody who can use that gada. He wanted to be an somebody who excels in archery. So with that, maybe he found the blessings, the gifts that he held with to pursue his passion for archery. And his observer, his guide, his educator, felicitator also realized, because of his passion and the focus. With that, I just want to, one more thing I just realized. In this course of being focused, there were a lot of other very prominent figures from the story who were not so focused in that area. So, being not so focused, was that okay? Because the one who was able to look the food, he was actually focusing on the food. He had nothing to do with the eye of the fish or maybe
Absolutely.
the aim. So, is it okay if somebody else is, having a distracted or rather a broader vision?
Angi, it's not distracted. It is that person's vision. Everybody has their own journey.
Right. Beautiful.
What my journey cannot be yours. So it's not like I'm distracted, am I? A lot of people thought, oh my God, what is a storyteller? But it's my journey. And I think it's very fulfilling for me. And once I realize it's fulfilling for me, it transcends. And when
Right.
it transcends, it becomes an extension of me.
Beautiful.
So there is nothing like right and wrong.
So I think the entire crux of the stories that we have learned and earned from Mahabharata actually makes us come to the conclusion in one way or the other that there is no white or black. It's all gray, but in the perfect ratio.
Absolutely.
It has to
That's
be the
true.
perfect ratio. It's all about time, place, position, and your own sense of responsibility towards whatever is being given to you. So it's beautiful to have both of you wonderful storytellers with me today and giving us the insight of focus, perspective, dedication, and the goodness of distractions, the power of having a broader vision, and the power of having a better, light in life by accepting what comes and resonating with the learnings. So, the learners who want to be leaders, you need to have a perspective and a vision. It will lead to the focus that is required. So, I'm sure all those students who are worried about certain subjects, mathematics, oh my God, physics, oh my God, life, jobs, they might be feeling very calm today, Adi, because now they have realized that yes, it is only about the perspective and the vision, not about the perfection or the accumulation of that very subject. So I'm sure our viewers have actually got a dose of wisdom on this Sunday evening from India, and most probably Monday morning in certain parts, and Saturday evening in certain parts of the world. But I'm sure about the fact that they are going to love the dose of wisdom from the world of stories, because it was not by us, it was through us. So thank you so very much, world. Adyan, it's over to you because I want you to do the closure quickly with a lot of things from the previous episode that I am actually, excited about. and very much keen to know the rest of the things.
Yeah, so hope you all enjoyed today's session. So before beginning with today's fun fact and trivia, I would like to mention about the last week's trivia and its winner. So in the last session, I asked a question. Comment the name of the Kaurva sister. And the right answer is Dushyala. And the winner is Miss Manpreet Kharbanda. She answered it correctly. So congratulations, Miss Kharbanda. And if you are with us, bahut badai. And now it's time for today's fun fact. So do you know Arjuna was killed by his own son, which was born from his third wife Chitrangla. And after that, he was brought back to life by Sri Krishna. So, this was the fun fact, and now the trivia is you need to tell us the name of his son who tried to kill him once. So, comment it in the comment section down, and we would announce the winner's name in our next session. Till then, take care, goodbye.
Namaste, India.
Very much. So I was muted. Thank you so very much. Namaskar. Namaskar from the heart, from the core of the heart. Thank you so very much, world. Thank you so very much for listening us so patiently. And to those who actually want to distract us, I am sure we are very focused and disciplined and content in ourselves to actually let go what happens other way. So thank you so very much for listening us patiently. Love you all. Keep shining, keep growing, and don't forget to join us next Sunday at 8 p.m. IST. Shafali ma'am, I would like to ask you, rather give the closure statement for the session today.
Well, make sure that you're focused and don't let people create any kind of confusion in your mind is what I want to live your life beautifully, find a purpose and just sail. So namaste. See you next week. Bye bye.
Namaskar.